More than 9,000 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with skin cancer every day. With us living in the Sunshine State, we have to be careful to protect our skin. Joining us is dermatologist David Dorton of Bay Dermatology to help us understand skin cancer and ways we can keep our skin healthy. Welcome, Dr. Dorton.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us again. You know, here in the Sunshine State, melanoma is something we have to be concerned with. Where are your patients getting their information? Are they taking those protective measures that they should be?
Well, hopefully my patients are. Yeah. We harp on them quite a bit and check them regularly, but melanoma is a huge concern for us and for everybody because it's really the single most important thing we do as a dermatologist is early detection and treatment of melanoma.
So we're seeing melanoma. What is clinically melanoma?
Melanoma is that freckle-looking mark you have on your skin typically. You see on the left-hand side the melanoma, on the right-hand side were the normal-looking moles. But when you have that irregular brown, black freckle, those are the typical appearances of melanoma.
And why is it so dangerous?
It gets into the bloodstream and it gets into what we call the lymphatics, and it can spread to other organs in the body.
So what can we do to spot this cancer on our own before we come to you?
Monthly self-assessments, so something's changing in size, shape, color, itching or bleeding or evolving, then bring it to our attention. And if you do that monthly, then you're usually pretty good at it by then. And then just getting a screening by your dermatologist. And typically we'll have people come in once a year, but sometimes more frequently if needed.
So something with melanoma is the A, B, C, D, E's that we should be looking for. So talk me through that little alphabet.
So asymmetry, there we have that is not a mirror image of itself. So that's an issue.
And that's something that we would see change, or it would just appear that way?
That would be a changing lesion. It would not appear just like that.
Okay. What about B?
So this is border. So the border is irregular. We call it scalloped, so it has some irregularities to it. So that would be an irregular border. This one obviously has multiple colors in it. That's a bad sign. So we want it to be more uniform in color. That would be more of a normal appearance. The diameter, this is bigger than a pencil eraser. We call it 6 millimeters, but it's not always the case, but it's just another one that we use. And so this is the evolving one. This is the one, oh, I just noticed this on my arm and I've never seen it before, and now it's getting bigger. So that's the A, B, C, D, E's of melanoma.
What's our timeline of, I see one of these A, B, C, D, E's and I call my doctor? Because I think some of us are, oh, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to go in again. But how vigilant, how quickly should we get in?
Well, the answer is as soon as possible. It's not usually an emergency, but I certainly wouldn't leave it for a couple of months.
You wouldn't leave it for your year, your next couple months?
Absolutely not. No, and our patients know that if they have something that they're concerned about, they can certainly call us and get right in.
So we should get it checked out then?
No doubt.
Okay, so what's that process like when you look at something and you're seeing those A, B, C, D, E's? What should someone expect when they come in to have that checked?
Well, they're going to get a biopsy, which is very simple and it's very quick, so that shouldn't dissuade you from...
It sounds scary though. Biopsies sound a little scary.
Skin biopsies are very simple, so it shouldn't dissuade you from coming in. And it's necessary because if we catch it early, we can cure it. If we don't, then there's a possibility that we can't.
And you're talking about curing, so what are some steps we can take in our everyday life to maybe not cure, but prevent the best we can?
Well, protective clothing, watching your sun exposure between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and sunscreen, and that includes eyeglasses, sunglasses, and don't forget, the hats with the brims on them, because if you're wearing ball caps all the time, your ears are exposed, and we do see melanoma on the ears.
Yeah. Okay, so is there any amount of sun exposure then that is safe? Because some of us say, oh, I need to get vitamin D from the sun.
Yeah, I think that everything in moderation, so 10 or 15 minutes, as long as you're not burning, then you'll be getting enough vitamin D. When
someone does have a biopsy come back that's positive, what are the treatment options then for them?
Well, it's going to be a surgery, and most of them are going to be in office with us, and that's great. But if they get a little bit further advanced, then we're going to have to send you to a tertiary center to have some further surgery where they're going to have to look at your lymph nodes to make sure it hasn't spread. Okay, so your biggest takeaway is just be aware of your own body and be taking those tips for sun protection. Yes. All right, well, thank you, Dr. Dorton, once again. For more information, you can visit the website for the American Academy of Dermatology at www.aad.org. Once again, great information. Thank you, Dr. Dorton, and Bloom will be right back.